Looking at the numbers, 1 in 4 women will be sexually assaulted. I think it's still 1 in 4 within a college campus. So the likelihood of a female college student having a close friend disclose to them is pretty high.
Whether you're on campus or at home,
anywhere there's people, there's going to be bad stuff eventually.
Or miles away on spring break.
If a student goes to a spring break gathering, they have these things in mind and they keep things from escalating or from happening like what happened down in Panama City.
Thousands of college-age students make the trek to the Gulf each year. But in early April, instead of images of beach parties,
because investigators say the victim of the attack believes she was drugged,
Americans saw disturbing and graphic video of a gang rape recorded on a cell phone.
while less than 10 feet away, police say at least 3 men were gang raping an apparently unconscious 19-year-old woman.
What happened hundreds of miles away on spring break made it all the way back to MTSU. On April 15th, MTSU freshman George Kennedy was arrested for his alleged involvement in the incident. Many of the students we talked to were outraged.
And I can't believe that a group of people allowed something like that to happen.
It hits close to home that you were that far away from the school, but you got in trouble, and it's bringing it back into MTSU's image, and that's not a good thing.
We don't need to be a bystander. We need to be someone that goes out and helps them when you see that they're in need.
Advocates from the Sexual Assault Center in Nashville say the first step to effective bystander intervention is knowing what exactly sexual assault is.
Sexual assault and rape is sex without consent. And knowing that and recognizing that, and then empowering students to step forward and step up when they see something that makes them uncomfortable, to be able to say, hey, what's going on here? And to be able to help a survivor when necessary.
When we asked students what they would do if they, or someone they knew, were a victim of sexual assault, most could give a good answer.
Contact the MTSU police.
I'll report it to the police or someone as quickly as possible.
I think I would contact, campus police.
But when we ask students what the university does when a sexual assault is reported, many are unsure.
Not exactly, but I think I have an idea what it could be.
No.
So I'm really not totally sure, but I've heard it before. I don't know, I can't really remember it.
Honestly, no.
So we sat down with university officials and campus police to find out exactly what to do.
So they could choose to report to the counseling center or to health services and have no report that would come forward to the university at all if they wanted to maintain confidentiality. If they wanted the university to take some type of action, then they could file, if it happened on campus, with our police department, if it happened off campus, with the city of Murfreesboro.
For university police, helping the victim comes first.
The biggest thing is we want to catch the person and we want to be able to take care of that problem, but we want to provide victim services to the person that was the victim, which is almost more paramount than catching or prosecuting the person.
When reporting a sexual assault, the victim can report either to a university official or to campus police.
They can happen simultaneously or they can happen independently of one another. So a student could also choose to file a criminal charge and never report it to the university. They could report it to the university and never file a criminal charge.
University police conduct their investigation just like any other criminal investigation. If a student wishes to press charges through the university, Judicial Affairs launches an investigation.
Judicial Affairs would meet initially with whoever was reporting to gather as much information as possible. Hopefully that would be the names of everybody that was involved, and then they'd begin an investigation process of calling all of those people in to hear their stories and try to get a better sense of exactly what happened.
During their investigation, Judicial Affairs gathers information to send to President McPhee for final approval. Afterward, both the victim and the suspect have the right to appeal the verdict.
If you were suspended or expelled, you've always had an appeals process where if you have additional information that wasn't a part of the hearing process that you want to have considered now, that's been a part of our process.
Reaching a conclusion through the criminal process can take much longer. The speed of the case all depends on the speed of the district attorney's office.
However, it's investigated whether they prosecute or not. So you have a full investigation regardless of whether or not you have a victim willing to prosecute.
Unlike the university process, because a full criminal investigation is completed, the case can be brought up if the victim changes their mind on pressing charges.
So that if a year from now, the victim comes back and says, hey, I want to prosecute now, I've changed my mind, then the evidence and everything that led up to that point has been done the exact same way, regardless of the situation.
Whether it's talking to someone from counseling services or seeking medical attention here at MTSU Health Services, there are resources out there for sexual assault victims here on campus. It really comes down to the victim knowing how and who to ask.
When it happens in a residential hall, the resident, you have both student affairs, residential life, all these folks that get into the process of finding a way to make this person safe.
If you're sharing an apartment together, we are able to offer alternative living accommodations. If you're dependent on that significant other to drive you to and from campus, we're prepared to offer transportation for folks. If you're in the same class, we're prepared to move folks out of class. If you need to be escorted to and from locations because you're afraid that somebody's going to come at you or be in your face, we're prepared to offer that type of assistance. There are a number of things we're prepared to do if the victim wants us to support them in that particular way.
Anyone, including MTSU students, can seek outside help from resources like the Sexual Assault Center in Nashville.
So our doors are open to anybody who wants services and support, and that includes college students, whether they've been assaulted on campus or off campus, or you're a college-age individual who's not in college. Really any point. Our youngest, we have clients as young as 2 years old up to 100.
When it comes to the university, these resources and guidelines are supposed to be in place no matter where the student may be, whether it's in the heart of campus or in the middle of a beach in Panama City.